to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare star.
Okay, looks like we are live here, guys. Welcome to the live stream. Or should I say welcome back, as I'm here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Going to drink a little coffee, going to talk a little smack. Going to say hi to all my friends. Oh, let's see here. What do we have? Let's see. Currently it's 12 to 6, but we're just getting started. So the YouTubes have won again. I'm going to go ahead and start up over here. Rose, first Cool Colt. Number 2, and Catitude. You are deterred. And boom, boom, boom. Followed by JB the 25th. We got old Bradley over here. Surprise. Good morning. Oh, you're don't be surprised, Bradley. You will be called into a meeting this morning. Looks like Raiders gonna say hi to us. Man, you were just all talkative this morning. I love it. We got Kitten and let's see here. Deb Chandler. Where are we at here? Preston showed up. Good to go. And where are we at here? Pastor showed up as well. What were you guys yapping about? We're waiting for more people to pop in here. What were you guys yapping about? That is supposed to stay tuned in January that day. Stupid autocorrect loves to ruin punchlines. Oh, you were telling a joke. I almost got Rose. To ask. I almost got it. You almost got me to ask Rose. Yes, it was then. And we too many words, my friend. And if you guys notice, I do have the chat in the live chat mode. Ha 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 ha. Learning has occurred. All right, let's see here. JDM, good morning, young lady. Good to see you. And obviously Preston says he's present. Nice. Okay, so looks like we got a handful of people in here, and we're going to give it just a few more minutes. Sometimes you just have to say it's Friday. It is definitely today's Friday, right? I hope it's Friday. West Virginia Pappy, omnipresent first, and sup to you on the Rumble side. All right, I'm not seeing the numbers change, so we're going to push the go button on this thing. Johnny says, "Sorry, I'm late." Don't be sorry, Johnny. By the way, have you checked the links in the description? I made one just for you. Okay, let's see here. In a grid down scenario where, well, let's talk about it for a second. There's a lot of speculation about a lot of things that are going on, a lot of like this could happen or that could happen, or Uncle JoJo is going to make an EMP happen. I've heard some crazy stuff happen on the interwebs over the last like a week. All the blue tie people are pretty much in death row mode. And yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty because a lot of them that believe that they have a platform are running their sucks from their Lear jets and then finding out that that was a really stupid thing to do. But, this is America. People do what they want to do. So before we get started, I did put I have no goal today. Like I said, I'm only doing that a couple of days a week. But in the poll, our biggest concern in a grid down event. What is your biggest concern in a grid down event? We've got 13 votes, 21 people in here. You do not have to vote yet because we're going to talk about a few things that might change your mind. But 46% believe personal safety and security is their biggest concern. 23% believe that keeping food fresh and safe. 31% is access to clean water, and 0 medical and health needs. Wow. Wowzer. What'd you say, Stray Kitten? Thirsting to death. Ian's here, and he's even got his coffee ready. All right. Good point, Rose. I like when we all get along. Oh, Cindy showed up. Good to see you, Cindy. Good to see you. And Bradley. Yeah. So I don't have to ask. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. I try to, I've got to make titles and thumbnails that are catchy, but I always try to have to balance them between like what we're really going to talk about and making you click the button. But if you're new to here, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're not, then you know what I'm talking about. So you know what I'm talking about. All right. So in a grid down scenario, where society's reliance on electricity fails. The consequences could be catastrophic. We're gonna talk about some steps that are necessary to prepare for and survive such an event, because our whole world is wrapped around power, whether we like it or not. By focusing on immediate impacts and long-term strategies, anyone can better equip themselves for what may come. Now, thirsting to death is my biggest fear. Wow. You store water, lady. Store water. Poll results. I think a lot of people are concerned that when the grid goes down, the criminals come out. Well, there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that. John Duh says, living in Wisconsin, I have to take this seriously, being it gets so cold. Yes, absolutely. Some years ago, it actually came to light that the state of Massachusetts wasn't as prepared as they thought they were when they got themselves a little ice storm that shut the entire state down and people started dying. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this, because this is actually a pretty detailed live stream, guys. So if you've got your notepads, get them out. All right, so some key threats to the power grid. We've got to think about what could take it down. Some things are simple, some things are not so simple. So believe it or not, the first and foremost one is either a cyber or physical terrorist attack. The power grid and it's an intricate web of interdependent systems is highly vulnerable to both physical and cyber attacks. Physical attacks can involve explosives or other sabotage methods that destroy infrastructure, while cyber attacks could hack control systems, disrupting electrical delivery. Cyber attacks have grown especially dangerous as hackers become more sophisticated. Understanding how a targeted assault could cripple the grid underscores the need for localized, independent backups for essentials like water and heating. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is the way we do this is I talk about stuff, you write some stuff, and I talk about what you wrote. So with that said, we're going to move on to solar storms, because I saw a few things in the chat, but I only have so many eyes to see different screens. NASA has recently warned that solar events like coronal mass ejections have the power to disable electric systems across entire continents. Solar storms in the past have disrupted telegraphs and minor electronics. But with today's reliance on grid, the CME could potentially destroy power transformers and leave millions without power for extended periods. Preparing for this scenario means considering methods that rely less on electronics or ensuring backups for vital systems. Going to the chat. Chat is really roomy over, not crowded at all. That's hilarious. Well, I'm going to do something, guys, I don't normally do. I'm going to show you the Rumble chat. There's the Rumble chat. That's hilarious, West Virginia Pappy. But hey, I get it, man. I don't know why people don't participate over there, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I hate you guys, So it is what it is. Back to the YouTube chat. It's so much warm and comfy in the YouTube chat. All right, so let's go ahead. I got to scroll back up here. Let's see here. What do we got? Let's see here. Yeah, Johnny says, yeah, I'm not concerned about criminals. If the grid goes down, I'm more concerned about the government does to capitalize on a grid down. Oh boy, first one, drink. There's some truth to that. But you know what? As much as I dislike the government, I would think it's more dangerous things happen on the local level. This is right up there with thinking you could change things in the federal government when you can't even change things in your town government. So I would focus more. My advice would be to focus more locally than globally. Let's see here. Cindy says, I have decent bug in and bug out preps for most cases, lacking in security, so that I'd concern. Okay. All right, let's see here. Good to know. John Duh says rolling blackouts, I hear, may be a thing. They did that. You guys remember that? That was a thing last year. They were talking about like the government and lack of power and rolling blackouts and do this and do that. And for some people, it just didn't affect them whatsoever. Where it did affect people, it was in places where, well, I hate to say it, but really blue cities and really, really super blue off the edge of the cliff, off that left cliff type organizations were causing these problems. I don't understand, that's right up there with California diverting fresh water into the ocean. All right, let's see here. Bradley says, this is why I believe that infrastructure is better as a closed loop to alleviate the issue of hacking. I know it requires more manpower, but safer. Here's the thing. So if you have an infrastructure, let's say a state infrastructure, okay? If you have a state infrastructure and you have like it all belongs to the state, all right, and it requires you to have maybe 1,000 people to run it, okay. If you chop that up and say, and this is just an example, if you chop that up and said that now each county was responsible for their own infrastructure, if you counted the amount of people that were needed to run it at the county level, it might actually be less than the amount of people needed to run it at the state level. And if it did require the same amount of people, then where's the loss? And what you would actually be creating is a more resilient, almost cellular infrastructure system that would be more resilient and even harder for them to hack. Yeah. But yeah, Bradley, I think you're right too. From what I've heard, some areas already have rolling blackouts set up and ready to start in California. Well, I don't know how you do that, but anyway, let's see. What are you talking, Johnny? What are you talking about? Oh, look, YouTube's already deleting my comments. What are you talking about, Broseph? I don't see it. I don't see any. I don't see anything like that. Let me scroll down. I'm sorry, bro. I don't see that. I don't see that. So okay, so make sure you're in the live chat, Johnny. Make sure you're in the live chat, my friend. Whoever beat me before, you've trained me well. I automatically turn on the live chat before the live stream even goes live now. But no, Johnny, I'm sorry. I don't know that that's happening. We're seeing your comments, I think, anyway. Type something. Let's see here. The light. Whereabouts are you stationed in Wisconsin? John Duh. There is still some snow on the ground in the North Woods this chilly morning. Gotcha, bro. Let's see here. John says, you're right. Criminals would be an issue because prisons would be abandoned. That's what happened in South America. The government used criminals to in government. Yeah, there you go, man. Jim, good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, Jim. Why do I know your name? Why do I know Ketchum? That's like a famous name. Jim Ketchum. Why do I know what Jim Ketchum? Jim S. Ketchum? You were born in Manhattan, brought up in the Brooklyns and Queens. You were a psychiatrist in the U.S. Army Medical Corps, worked for almost a decade. No, you definitely have to be dead by now. Jim Ketchum Books? Jim Ketchum on Facebook. I know your name and I don't know why, Jim. I apologize. I am the worst with names. But if you're not a subscriber, hit that sub button, Broseph. Cuck V showed up. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Cindy, what most of us are concerned about may be where we need to focus our preps. Security prep updating today with a new Pepper or 2. I'm going to go with Prep or 2. Finally. Oh, that's right, Cindy. You were asking me about advice for those kind of things. I remember now. Man, I gotta back up. You guys, all you guys can see is like my head when I like get up like this. I need to back up. I think it's because I'm trying to read the screen. And Cuck V, yes, we know you're from Michigan. Let's see here. Let's see. Jim says, check out the final words of David Goldberg. They plan or planned or coming to preppers dissidents at night during planned blackouts. Well, I mean, everybody has a bad day. If you show up here, you're going to have a bad day. Johnny says, I know that. Or Jim says, I know that song. Let's see here. Yeah, I know JDM. Sometimes, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. All of our mods know they don't get to delete things unless like somebody says something, just read. Basically, if you break the rule. For the new people, if you don't know the rules, they're simple. Don't be a dick. If you are, you're probably going to have a bad day. Let's see here. Sam. That's okay, Sam. Let's just go ahead and delete that. Sam, let's go ahead and mute users. There you go. No, that's not the button I want to do. Sam, no one wants to hear this, okay? Rumble says, would you like to delete these messages? All you're doing is just causing problems, man. I don't understand why. Okay, there we go. You don't just post, oh, read this article, you'll love it. Yeah, because that's how we get viruses, Sam. You goof. All right, let's see here. Sorry, guys, that was a Rumble thing. All right, let's see here. JDM says, I have a few comments by you, and I just wanted to LP to know it must be YouTube. Yeah, there you go. YouTube is the Gestapo. Let's see here. Not too concerned about rolling blackouts. Have a power plant less than 6 miles away. Milwaukee area, I definitely bug out to my brothers in Oak Creek. All right, let's see here. Civil defense prepping showed up. Anyone expecting the false flag event for elections? October is over. There can be no more October surprises. Let's see here. Bird Lady, good to see you, lady. Good to see you. Wow. Let's see here. The only concern I have is the power. After Helene, I need AC in my life, I realized. So program. Okay, so looks like I've just gone through all of those. Which I truly appreciate, guys. But I do have a lot of stuff to cover through here. So we're gonna hit some of the big points here. EMP, electromagnetic pulse. EMPs are of particular concern for governments worldwide. An EMP blast could short circuit systems within seconds, and in densely populated areas, this could lead to mass panic and infrastructure collapse. Preparing for an EMP involves understanding how to operate in a low power environment, as well as developing independent means for critical needs like medical supplies and communications. Anywho, if you don't have a plan for an EMP or a CME, then you might want to look into EMP Shield. There's a link in the description. You can save $50. Shameless, not shameless promotion, but yeah, it is a thing. In the event of these types of situations, I'll get in my car, go get grandma, bring her here because my car will work. Okay, immediate impacts of a grid down event. When the grid fails, critical services such as water, sewage, and communication will likely collapse. The longer power remains down, the worse the effects become. Water systems will dry up, sewage backups will cause sanitation crises, food will spoil, and medical services will dwindle. Within just a few days, shortages, disease, and even civil unrest could ensue. Every aspect of modern life will be affected, and people who have prepared to manage their needs independently will have the best chances of maintaining stability and safety. Looks like you guys got some stuff in the chat here. Let's see. Bird Lady says, I'm in Georgia, and we recently got power after Helene. My only concern was clean water for my livestock. Fiber is still out. I believe it. Let's see here. JDM is putting anyone here, new here, join the YouTube so you can join the Discord. You can get cool info there, different levels of membership. Very true, JDM. And by the way, if you have not noticed your Discord, I did see what you did last night, and you are now in that other room. All right, let's see here. Communication is key. Learn your bell thing before the crisis. absolutely true. The two largest lessons that every like person who went down into Western North Carolina to help, they say the two things that you like, basically the two the two biggest things you learned, or should I say the two biggest holes in your preps, it were water and communications. They didn't have enough water, and they didn't have enough way to make water, and they didn't know how to use their damn radios. Oh, yeah. Oh, right. The light is giving us a pro tip. Let's see. Light. Pro tip. If not a generator, consider a battery box, such as an old point or 50 cal ammo can with a smaller car battery and inverter inside for temporary power supply to run fridge, TV, charge. It says there. Yeah, yes, correct. You can make your own stuff. And I kind of recommend people do make their own stuff because they have to learn a couple of things. You have to learn, one, how these systems work, because they're very simple. Many people think about, the systems, and many people think about those right there and how they're complicated, or how does this all work? And there's so many wires, and what's this and what's that? The diodes and the things inside there. Electrical monkeys jumping from wire to wire, making all this magic happen for you. It's really not that difficult. It's really, I'm telling you right now, it's not that difficult. But if you don't, then just buy one of those. That's what I tell people. So let's see here. But I think it's a good idea for you to build one, because it gives you a understanding of how those things work. All right, let's see. Johnny says, I'm not prepping on a large scale. I only have me to worry about. Yes, Johnny, then water, food, and security, bros. Let's see here. Bradley says MERS 154.600 unless needed to go silent. Jim, yes, I'm a huge fan of MERS radios. It's like I want to say there's also like a meter band in the in the frequencies. I want to say it's HF. I honestly don't remember. I just remember I did a video on this one band that radios are starting to be programmed with now, or capable of, that like nobody used it. There was a whole story about UPS trying to buy up this band when they were getting huge, right? And the government wouldn't let them have it all, and so they didn't. And then everybody stopped using it, so they stopped making radios that could talk on it. It's really weird. But yes, I love me some MERS radios. I have two myself. Well, let's see here. What do we got here? Bradley says JDMR ponds were blocked by down trees, chainsaws, and broken. That super sucks. Let's see here. Pulse for alternative energy. It's too much to read. There we go. Helene showed me a lot of holes. I thank God for it. For radios, CS2 Underground or not a Rubicon, dude. Absolutely. I would say if you had to pick one of those, it's not a Rubicon. In fact, some flaming butt monkey decided she was going to spend her time critiquing the fact that I had done an homage to his style of making radio videos. And if you guys know me, when I make a radio video, I love using the music and the style that he uses because it's just funny. I don't get any extra views from it, by the way. It's just funny. Let's see here. What do we got here? Pastor of Reality types me a paragraph. Communications. I've been considering Starlink for internet. Would Starlink still work if the grid goes down? Maybe you could still receive international internet if the U.S. internet is down. Okay, so here's the thing. Some people, so the idea that all the power went down, like say we got hacked, right? Cyber attack, and we got hacked and our power went down, right? So you got a battery backup system, you got your Starlink. Starlink has the same problems that cellular systems have. There are ground stations throughout the world that are set up to move data around in that celestial system, that those thousands of satellites that the great Elon Musk has put above our skulls, floating in the air and using magic. But they're still dependent on the ground stations. So as long as the ground stations are running, then you would have connection to Starlink. Okay. Once those ground stations go down, you're done. Everything would be talking to itself up there, but they still need that ground station to be completely operational. Now, will I say get the Starlink? I will say, hell yeah, go get it. Matter of fact, if you can get the man-packed version, yeah, it's the size of a laptop. You just kind of angle it and face it north on the ground, and bang, 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 you've got 1 gig internet. It's pretty freaking awesome. I had Starlink when it first came out, but I lived in this little cul-de-sac where I just couldn't get the reception. Literally, it was 1 gig for like 2 minutes, and then boom, it would go down until the next satellite came by, and then boom, we're straight back up. It was freaking awesome, but great for Netflix, or not great for Netflix. But yes, I do recommend people buying Starlink if they have a clear view of the sky that is going to offer that capability. I would have it right now if I could. Let's see here. Where we got here? I'm going to put that on there, Cuck, even though you're not a member anymore, you slacker. My Bofang AR5RM can transmit on MERS. Yes. Yes. That is a super awesome radio, guys. If you don't have that radio, you should definitely go get one. Bofang AR5RM. And I will go back and put a link in the matter of fact, I will pin it in the comments because that's so good when we're done with this. Let's see here, JDM. Let's see. You guys are really Discord is the devil. No, you're the devil, Johnny. Discord is the devil. Hey, Johnny, tell us what you think about Reddit. Don't hold back, please. I want to know. Let's see here. Starlink still needs power. You're absolutely right. That's why you have a portable power station. You have a portable power station. I was going to mixed up. You have a portable power station. Okay. That's just the 230. But that thing runs my fridge for hours on end. Not my house fridge, my portable fridge. I've shown you guys videos of that. I still, everything you need to talk to the internet takes power, bro. So all right, let's see here. There we go. JDM is explaining. Jim, why do I know who you are, Jim? Tell me who you are, man. I know who you are. Chicken McNuggets showed up. What's up, bro? I only worry about having to defend our community, and we are rural and not really too far from popular. Yeah, sooner or later, once they've figured out there's nothing left in the cities, they may head your way. This is the only such social media platform I have, and I am about ready to go dark. Well, I'm okay, Johnny, but lone wolf's a dead wolf. All right, let's see here. Bofang asking Chuck. I think the Bofang. Yes, it is a superior radio, and let me tell you why, guys. If you didn't know this, all right, listen. I'm not going to tell you to do anything. You don't spend your own money, but the UV5R has actually been discontinued, and that is the reason why it is so cheap right now. I saw one the other day for $22, fully loaded with the short battery, but all the other accessories, $22 on Amazon. So, just an FYI. I'm related to Big Jack Ketchum, the famous bank robber. That's probably it, man. That's probably it. But I do thank you for telling me, because your name is just like, I know this guy's name and I have no idea why. It's like was Big Jack Ketchum, was that like a Western robber? Because it's just like a West man. That's Jack Ketchum. You know what I'm saying? Jim Ketchum owns the Ponderosa, that kind of thing. Let's see here. Okay, so we need to move on. We need to move on, guys, because we're halfway through the live stream, and you know what that means. If you love your country, put a 1 in the chat. America. And I'm going to drink some coffee and read you some stuff. Top priorities for surviving a grid down scenario. Number 1, water. Storage and collection. Water is a top priority as humans can survive only a few days without it. Preparing means having water storage containers capable of holding at least 2 weeks, I recommend 3 weeks worth of water per person in the household. By the way, that's for a family of 4, 3 gallons a day per day, 3 gallons per person per day. That is 21,000 pounds of water. Water is 8.34 pounds per gallon. You do the math. And make sure that it's stored water is a safeguard, but not a long-term solution. So know where your water sources are. And the next subject is filtration and purification. You need to know that. Invest in multiple water purification and purification methods, such as gravity-fed filters, which I truly enjoy, portable filters, which are chemical-treated iodine tablets, or something like a Berkey or water machine. As I understand it, there's a national problem with getting your hands on Berkey filters because of some legalities that don't truly make a lot of sense to me. These options ensure that water from natural resources can be made safe for drinking. And then there's the location-based strategies. Those in urban areas should investigate local water sources and plan for compact storage solutions, while rural households may use wells, streams, or rainwater collection systems. Being familiar with local water sources and how to collect and purify water will be critical for survival. Number two, stockpiling for the long term. Non-perishable foods such as canned goods, dried legumes, and rice can last years if stored properly. Food that requires minimal preparation, like freeze-dried meals, is also highly recommended. Rotation and practice. Familiarize yourself with cooking methods that don't rely on electricity, such as camping stoves, solar ovens, or wood-burning methods. Practicing with these tools in advance will save time and reduce stress during an emergency. And then resourceful storage solutions. Urban dwellers may need to store supplies creatively, like under beds, in closets, or in containers that double as furniture. Rural residents should consider cache sites or alternative storage areas on their property to diversify food sources and prevent theft. What do we got in the chat? Let's see what we've got. Now, you know what? You guys are going to type something in the chat right now, and I'm going to check out the poll. In the poll, we have 27 votes. What is your biggest concern in a grid down event? Number 1 is access to clean water, which is very smart of you. And number 2 is personal safety and security, which we're going to talk about here in a second at 36%. And number 3 is keeping the food fresh and safe, which should be a little higher than that, but that's okay because this is what is more important to you. Question, and medical and health needs, 7%. 7%. All right, rolling to the chat. Cuckv says, he's talking about the radio, MERS 1.25 meters, blah, 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 and airband, all true, 100%. Let's see. Johnny says, FYI, anyone stacking dry beans in a grid down, cooking dried beans takes a lot of fuel. Pressure can before you need them. That's interesting. That is that's a very interesting theory. But what I worry about is, there's got to be some science behind it too. But if you pressure can beans, that I might have to do some research on that. Pressure. Well, I'm worried because beans absorb a lot of water, which is the point of his statement. Pressure canning beans. I'm gonna put that's on my notes. I'm putting it on my notes. All right, because that's a great idea. It's a great idea. They won't store as long as dried beans, but it is what it is. Let's see here. FYI, anyway. Okay. Jim says the PTB will tear anything apart. Again, they come for. I'm guess this is when they come for our preps. bury and hide very well. I got you, Broseph. I got you, Jim. All right, let's see here. We're going to go to self-defense. And guys, if there's anything that I'm missing on this, please put it in the chat because I will be happy to regurgitate it for you. Let me go ahead and fix that. Choo, choo, choo. All right, so let's talk about security. Self-defense training. So personal security becomes a top concern when resources are scarce. Firearms training, self-defense courses, and awareness of basic security principles can all help individuals protect themselves and their families. Knowing the laws in your area is essential to ensure that you stay safe and legal. So a couple of things there. First and foremost, knowing the laws is important because everybody has this thing in their mind about the end of the world. There will be no laws. You are wrong. You are totally incorrect. People will remember who you are and what you did. All right. And we live in such a modern society that the chances of a total 100% grid down for a year, no societal rule without law type situation is so far out on the edge of common sense or reality that while there are possibilities and percentages, they are so low that, yeah, people will know you and remember what you did. The next thing is with firearms training, self-defense training. One of the things that I talk about in the security section of my water, food, and security methodology is they require two things. They require tools and they require training. Okay. If you're going to decide that your self-defense model is Krav Maga, Kung Fu, you're just a really good street fighter. Maybe you were really good at video games where you know, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y, space bar. I don't know. Okay. That is still going to require training. And it's not something that you can just not do anymore. Oh, I went to one class. I'm a Kung Fu expert now. Yay. So I think you're getting my point with that. The next thing is when we talk about firearms, America, it's our way of life. It's what helped us break away from the tyrannous government that was oppressing us. But I always tell people, use your brain first because there's a few things you should know. And we're not going to go over that because that's not part of this video. But the things that you should think about for training is 1, safety. Okay. Oh, I'm safe. No. Shut up and take the safety course. Don't be a moron. Okay. 2, marksmanship. Learn how to hit what you're shooting at. And that requires you to go to the range no less than once a month and put 50 rounds down range. That's all I'm telling you. That's all you need to do to maintain some level of proficiency. Okay. It also gives the opportunity to exercise good safety rules. And 3, you should take at least 1. That's pretty good. Up yours, man. You should, man, I hope the algorithm didn't like freak that out. Yeah. Wrong finger, Broseph. But you should take a firearms self-defense course. It's going to teach you to shoot very differently than trying to hit a paper target 25 feet away. So I recommend those 3 things when we're talking about self-defense training. All right. So the next thing is layered security strategies. Now, when we talk about layered security strategies, I want you to consider a layered approach to security with physical barriers such as fences, locks or locked doors, and early warning systems. Basic security measures like using door reinforcements or creating a neighborhood watch program can help foster a safe environment. And the last thing in security is situational awareness. Beyond physical security, awareness is key. Watching for warning signs or unrest and planning exit routes or alternative locations may provide valuable advantages during an emergency. 99% of situational awareness is knowing how to escape. Bad people like to trap people. Remember that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check. We're moving on to one of our last subjects. No, we got 5, 3, 6, 7, 12. We got 3 more subjects left, but we're going to go ahead and check the chat real quick here. More escape and invasion than firepower? Absolutely. Let's see here. Johnny says, I wish I could have a wood stove. I wish I could. Oh, dear. Bring me a wood stove, will you? I think, let me tell you, Johnny, I have a giant wood stove in my workshop on the homestead. And it's kind of a shame that it's just sitting there. Let's see here. Cindy, never stick around if you can leave in a firefight situation. Absolutely. Cuckfee says, if you can take a firearm class, take it. My brother did, and he was able to help me with my pistol a lot more accurately. Just a proper trigger pull with my finger. Johnny says, finger control is everything. That's what she said. All right, let's go. Number 4, fuel. Proper storage. Fuel storage is crucial since gasoline and diesel fuel may become scarce and be difficult to access during a crisis. However, it is vital to understand that the shelf life and storage requirements of different types of fuel, gasoline, for example, require treatment with fuel stabilizers, while diesel has a longer shelf life if stabilized correctly. If not, it will turn into water and gel. All right, let's see here. Alternative energy sources, solar panels, rechargeable battery packs, and alternative fuels like propane or biofuels are all options for power that don't rely on traditional grid. Solar is an excellent option for small devices, while propane can be used for cooking and heating, as well as running generators. Transportation. Mobility may become limited if fuel runs out, so people should plan accordingly. Bicycles, hand carts, or even small boats for those near water could provide vital alternative transportation methods. Looks like we got a few things in the chat here. Miko says, Miko, good to see you, bro. Take your family off hunting. You can teach them camouflaging for the animals can't see or smell you. The animals, and rolled right out of the chat, are smarter than humans. I wouldn't say they're smarter than this. I would just say they're more animalistic. Let's see here. Rose says, my major gun experience has been with black powder muzzle loaders, but do have a couple cowboy pistols. Let's see. Cindy says, fuel not on the list. Stabil needed. Yeah, what was it? Somebody referenced PRIC. Shit. Where is it at here? CP 122 PRIG gasoline treatment. Recommended that. I haven't had a chance to really do any research on that since yesterday, but I actually prefer Seafoam. Seafoam is such it's such an unbelievable chemical that you can use it in so many different ways. It has multi-use, and yeah, that's what I use. Let's see here. I'm impressed. There's not very many women involved in black powder or muzzle loading. Let's see here. Ian says, if firearm are in play, my 3 rules: shoot, shovel, shut up. Cindy says, e-bike with portable solar to recharge. Yes, very smart, Cindy. West Virginia Pappy says, which is bigger, which is better, regular unleaded or non-ethanol gas? Well, non-ethanol gas is always going to be better, but it's also very expensive. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Cindy says, my mechanic says to bill over Seafoam. I use Seafoam too. I gotcha. Honestly, I think it's a thing about personal opinion. I've been using Seafoam for years, and I store a good amount of gasoline, ethanol gasoline, over the winter. No problem. I have a rotating thing. We talked about this yesterday, but I think to each their own. What I don't like about Stabil is that there's a dye inside of it that's not good for systems. Let's see. And JB the 25th showed up on the Rumble side. Good morning, my friend. Let's see here. 4 to 5 years with Stabil. Got you. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to medical supplies and health. And what's the poll saying? The poll has moved up to 12% on medical supply and health. So, all right, here we go. Medical supplies and health, basic training. Have CPR. What is this? Oh, nothing. Have CPR and first aid skills having those skills are crucial. These skills can save lives in emergencies, and classes through organizations like the Red Cross can provide fighting that yawn back. Got to keep it down inside. like lock it, bring it down, don't let it out. And classes through organizations like the Red Cross can provide essential training. Advanced training in trauma care or enrolling as a volunteer EMT can offer invaluable skills. Chronic conditions. People who rely on medical devices or prescription medications should prepare as much as possible by stockpiling medications and having a plan for battery-powered devices. Absolutely. Jace Medical, jacemedical.com. Jace Daily, guys, go check it out. If you have to take medications to keep you alive on a daily basis, you should have a stockpile. Jace Daily is the best. There's a link in the description. Save a few dollars. Yeah, go do it. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. All right, let's see. Physical fitness. Nobody likes to hear about this part, right? I just want to eat a donut. Physical fitness. Physical health becomes a vital asset in emergencies as manual labor or survival tasks require endurance. Engaging in regular exercise, strength training, and outdoor skills, practice will prepare individuals physically and mentally. There's an argument on physical fitness, like, well, if the grid goes down, why do I need to do anything more physically? Well, your air conditioner's not going to work, so you're going to want to be outside. So, maybe you'll want to be in the swimming pool. I don't know. It's not like you can spray yourself down with a hose or, you're going to start to suffer if you can't move around. So I do recommend physical fitness, but people have these arguments that sound like common sense that don't really lead anywhere productive. So, let's see here. Miko says, what are you talking about, Miko? Or. Where are we at here? I'm just going to go with it. Or you can learn live lig like the Amish, totally off grid. The Amish in the area, they let you help work with them, and you can learn stuff from them that teach you how to survive. It's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea, Mako. Cuckfee says, storing diesel fuel has hot shot secret EDT. Always keep diesel fuel and gasoline out of sunlight when storing them. Absolutely. Let's see here. Jim says, PRIG brings back dead gas, supposedly. Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's see. Miko says, I had gasoline if I get a tank in the back porch for 2 years and still using the lawnmower, and it still works. Let me tell you something about gas. My personal experience with gasoline. I used to own I'm going to sound like some rich dork now. I used to own a 35-foot boat, and basically I had to register it with the Coast Guard because anything past 35 feet is considered a yacht. It slept 6. It had everything you could think about possibly in a boat. And thank God a hurricane ate it. It was pretty awesome. I actually made money on the deal. But what I learned when I got into that type of boating, because I'd never had a boat that large before, and you have to keep those in the water all the time, and you just throw money at it. But this thing had 2 350s in it, and they were gasoline powered, and I had a 90-gallon tank on it. And I talked to the guy who he owned the marina, and he was really one of those down-to-earth guys. He worked in the shop. It wasn't like a money pit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, hey, Muffy, let's go on our yacht. It wasn't that kind of place. But I was like, you got to is there a way to store the gas? You got to empty it out during the winter and do this and do that. He's like, no, man, listen, see that boat over there? That boat, what was it? What was it? What did he tell me? He pointed to a boat and he told me, see that boat over there? And I was like, yeah. He says, that boat has been setting for 3 years. Yesterday, we cleaned the carburetor and we redid a couple things on it, and we fired it right up with the same gas that had been sitting in it for 3 years. And the gas will work just fine. It just smokes a lot. That's interesting. That's an interesting thought, gasoline that had been sitting in a tank inside of a boat, inside the water for 3 years, and all it did was smoke. So I'll leave that information with you, and you can do what you decide to do with it. Let's see here. Tuck says, formal construction worker, as hard as manual labor can be, it doesn't make for a complete fitness regimen. Very true. Let's see here. Bradley says, number one factor of life length is the strength of the thighs. Yes, I've actually heard that. Got the hotspot eBay bookmark now. Thanks. There you go. That's what this community's for, man. Let's see. Tuck says, dang, you a rich dog. No, I am not, Broseph. I'm a retired Marine and live on a fixed income. Those were the days when I was bringing in the big contractor money, all that life I keep telling you guys about. There's a lot of money involved, but yeah, not so fun. Let's see here. Cindy's talking about her quads. Johnny says smoke machine. There you go. Let's see here. PRIG is supposed to make gas last indefinitely. Man, you're really selling this. Are you sure you're not just you're not the owner of the company or something, man? Miko says 4 more days to the election, stacked to the rafters. You'll never know what's going to happen. Yeah, that's true. I believe that too. All right, so let's check the chat and see who's number one. Right now it's still water, but I saw medical stuff come up. We're at 12% on medical. All right, guys, communication, because we are running out of time rapidly, and it's Friday. Radio systems. Investing in alternative communication devices like MERS radio or ham radios always, I love saying MERS, always allows families and neighbors to stay in contact when the phone lines are down. Weather and alert systems, radios equipped with National Weather Service alerts help individuals stay informed about extreme weather and emergency updates. Communication plans, a predetermined communication plans. We've talked about this, make it happen, including designated check-in times and locations for families on or group members will ensure that everyone knows how to coordinate in a crisis. And then now for a little argument, because I'm surprised I have not seen it in the chat yet. Skills over supplies. While stocking up on essentials is important, having the knowledge and skills to use these items is even more critical. Prioritizing education and training in survival skills such as water purification, food preservation, and self-defense will ensure a higher chance of success than simply amassing gear. Additionally, learning about traditional methods of heating, cooking, and tools will reduce reliance on modern conveniences and building resilience. And now we're going to wrap this up in a nice, tiny little bow. Preparing for a grid down scenario means taking a systematic approach to meeting water, food, security, food, medical, and communication needs by building skills and acquiring the right supplies. Individuals can weather the impact of a prolonged power outage. Real preparedness is more about self-sufficiency than stockpiling. A comprehensive plan with practical skills and adaptability will provide the best defense against the collapse of modern infrastructure. All right, so what do we got here? We've got 6 minutes left on this. Wonder what the ethanol-free gas in the boats. No, it wasn't. He didn't sell that. He didn't sell ethanol-free gas there. Caught me. No, serious. Having skills has kept me from hiring a third wife for the past 12 years. I see, Johnny. I see. Okay, so as we go to the now is the time for, looks like there's 42 of you in here. Now is the time to put your vote in if you haven't done it yet. I am going to stop running my suck with information for you to think about. But what is your biggest concern in a grid down event? Currently 42% access to clean water, smart. 30% personal safety and security, smart. 15% keeping food fresh and safe, smart. Medical and health needs, smart. All smart answers. But do me a favor, make sure you guys put your votes in there, because I do post this in the YouTube's a community section for people to follow and go and say, hey, that's pretty interesting. Let's see here. Having skills, blah, blah, blah. Johnny JS. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that, I don't know what that means either, bro. I love these little emoticons or whatever's, because I have no idea what they mean. I have no idea what they mean. But dodge 3 bullets. Just saying. Okay, so with that said, guys, it is Friday. Make sure you go out and have fun. Maybe do some preparedness stuff. Maybe live your life. Maybe barbecue, something like that if the weather's nice. And if it's not, screw it. Just barbecue anyway. As usual, guys, if you like what I'm doing, make sure you hit that thumbs up going out the door and hit that subscribe button. Make sure the bell is there. Guys, I really would like you to check and see if you are getting the bell notifications, because I have several of mine for YouTubers that I watch, which is only a handful, that the notifications were turned off. Wonder why that's happening. Anywho, also, if you guys would like to be on the inside track of preparedness, I do have a membership. If you're on your phone, find the blue word more. Some people have told me that it's green on their phones. Press that, scroll down to join, pick the one in the middle, and you will get access to lots and lots of stuff. All right, guys, that's going to be about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We shall see you on Monday. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Stay safe. Have a great weekend, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye-bye.